Focus on a strategy to reduce new HIV infections among adolescent girls and young women, advocate for upscaling of psychosocial support services, including addressing mental health.
The First Lady says the government of Botswana has made significant strides in ensuring programs aimed at addressing children's needs get public funding. However, she is calling for an urgent amendment of some sections of the Botswana Children's Act of 2009.
This Children's Act of 2009 will be updated with amendments to some sections. Are you not relieved, Bongwanaka? Additionally, the government of Botswana has made significant strides in ensuring that programs which address children's needs are allocated public funding.
The commemoration was also used as a networking session that marks the launch of the Take a Girl Child to Work initiative, which seeks to foster gender equality, empower and create a bright and inclusive future for girls.
As you progress in life, it's also important for you to have experiences from some of the companies you met today around how you can become your own entrepreneur, how you can learn skills to create wonderful things, create your own business. And that is all part of an initiative that His Excellency President Eric Giabezuma-Sisi is championing called Generation Unlimited.
The initiative has reignited the girls' dreams.
And I'm glad to know that we as girls in this country, we are safe. We don't have to constantly get worried about us being sidelined when it comes to opportunities. So we've got no worries, we are sorted. All that is left is for us to take it as a responsibility now to act accordingly.
I was actually impressed by the way she was so open about everything, her journey. Though she couldn't say much, we learned a lot. And we love when she said we should squeeze out the lemons, we should take everything and be hardworking. We need to do what we're supposed to be doing, learn to set boundaries.
This follows the official launch of the National Commitment for Adolescent and Young People's Well-Being. Volkagolo, PTV News, Gaborone.
The chairperson of Finance and Works Committee for Chobe District Council, Mr. Babuluki Mpebe, said that their council has been allocated over 100 million pula for the 2024-25 recurrent and development budget, and noted that there has been a measure increment of over 14 million pula, resulting to 15.6% when compared to the 2023-24 allocations. However, Councillor anonymously concurred on the great need for the local authorities to strengthen revenue collection strategies to augment government support.
The councillors agreed in unison that the council's financial standing calls for a review of some projects as well as to come up with new development strategies that will strengthen implementation of cost-saving measures.
As you already know, some of these votes experience exercise expenditure every financial year. Therefore, I plead with you to strengthen implementation of cost-saving measures and continue to develop a new strategy aimed at cutting costs. We should together ensure more efficient spending and financing our activities.
The need for other streams of revenue to augment the council's budget has been highlighted.
Council, how ya o libile madimangwe a le go ra tsenya ke di service levy. Me re tshwantse mo re bue le marona ministry wa local government gore aba speed up the process ya gore ngwe le hatsi le gore go ntse le segiwa go tsengwa metsi mo teng ba ba lebaganeng ba ba maleba aba direng gore ba le tlhabolole re khone gore re abeditsa tsa sha re di oketse me le tsela ngwe le re ka khona gore re oketse letseno
go botlhokwa gore engage the Kasani Kazungula redevelopment plan, how is we develop so that we capture the whole of the shoreline, which is idle at the moment, in their council. And not only that, the hot springs, how ka let's in the lapus.
Abale hats solo jaba chobelen boat. Bar sekasikele bar nele skiti sale hats. Se le gore gongwe ha go buiwa ka bo triple P ba modulasetulo wa finance a go bua ka bone ke bona ha re ka itebaganya re nya rona ka na le hatsikile re batla ba tshwere madi gore re kopanele ditirelo tsa go nna jalo
All relevant stakeholders have been employed to come on board in facilitation for implementation of rate collection, private-public partnership, and decentralization policy in order to broaden the revenue base of the councils. Kitso Temane, Botswana Television, Kasane.
Bakhatla Bakamanana in Moshopa have requested for firm regulations in regard to selling and consumption of alcohol in order to prevent social ills which are associated with alcohol abuse. The residents made the plea recently at Moshopa at a consultative meeting which was addressed by the Minister of Trade and Industry, Mr. Musi Khafela, in regard to the review of the Liquor Act. Jessica Pilani with more.
Mr. Khafela's consultative meetings with the public regarding the review of the Liquor Act is government's effort to consult with Botswana and give them an opportunity to have their voice heard as new regulations of the Liquor Act are being drawn.
Ke tla haka maikello a gore ko pheletsong ra ya ko parlamenteng ra ya go simolla molao sesha o ileng gore o tsamaisa theko le thekiso a le kgwebo ka kakaretso le tiriso ya nnotagi ba gaetsho.
Residents called for the strengthening of regulations relating to the sale and consumption of alcohol.
Batho ba ba nwang bojalo ga ke tsura ba kopanya le ba dibara ba ta ba rekisa le di-trucks. Ha o sna go phunya ka go bololang ka teng wana gore o ema ka ha semelong o mongwe o tsa mo go pinyana mo o thela mo teng ke gone mo e tla re o ne le thini le ngwe hela hela bo re ta o theletswe teng mo ba reng mo jaanong ga ke itse gore molao o ka ira jang gore go gagamadiwe gore dio tse di seke di a tsena mo bareng ga go ka itšhana di tsenye mo bareng monga bara a nne le boikarabelo.
Go na le kganya ye gantsi tumileng ka leina la di-sport mme rona kopo ya rona ke gore mo go yone a tota dikatlholo di nne ko godimo ko gore ga motho a itlhelwa a rekisa bojalo jalo mme a bodiwe gore tota o botsa ko kae ha e le gore o bonetswe ke rabara ra tlholegela mo go bonala bangwe ba bone mahelwa ba ira madi go gaisa le bora dibara ka mabaka a gore bone dinako tsa go tswala ga gona dinako tsa go tswala ko ga di bame.
For some, alcohol abuse is a social ill that can be addressed by raising awareness in children from a young age by inclusion in the education curriculum.
Ha re ka tsa selo se ra se tsara se isa go dikweleng ra si ruta bana gore ba tle ba nne le boikarabelo go tswa go tlase ba itse gore la ga ke a go nwa bojalwa mme gone ditlamorago tsa teng ke eng.
Minister Khafela expressed gratitude to these residents for partaking in this exercise, assuring them that their ideas will be presented to Parliament after the completion of this assignment. Jessica Pilani, BTV News, Moshopa.
Maung International Arts Festival has secured more than 181,000 Pula sponsorship from Orange Foundation to pay artists and other preparatory activities. The popularly known festival is said to celebrate creativity and the vibrant culture of Botswana, which brings both economic and social benefits. Briefing the media in Maung on the preparations of this festival, the Poetavango chairperson, Mr. Lekgodile Seganabeng, says the partnership is a milestone for the festival as their main challenge has been financial constraints. John has more.
Poetavango will in November celebrate the 10th anniversary of Maung International Arts Festival. The mandate of this festival since way back has been to build a better arts fraternity in Botswana. Nevertheless, the challenges of hosting a festival of this magnitude has been lack of funding. Therefore, the recent partnership with Orange Foundation is a welcome development for the festival to even attract more sponsors.
The magnitude of the festival that we plan is very ambitious because it's so comprehensive and we want everything there and to be done in an international standard so that even from outside and everywhere people can be able to say there in Botswana there's a festival that is of international standards. However, challenges will always be like we hardly get enough funding to fully cover the budget that we have put forward. The sponsors are able to fund only half of that. or slightly over half.
I believe it's worth noting that Orange Foundation through Orange Botswana is supporting particularly or specifically the music component of the festival. And of course, we have other partners who we are still in talks with, and we are positive that something will come out before, I don't know when, but very soon, so that we're going to give you now a full 10th anniversary.
Orange Regional Sales Manager Mr. Hakenabe Tsokori says they are committed to invest in the growth of music, arts and culture to foster an environment where talent in Botswana flourish.
This isn't just about financial support. It's about investing in the future of the arts. We believe in the power of creativity to transform lives and communities. Our commitment to the professional inclusion of young artists aligns with a broader global mission to be a thriving force for positive change. The Orange Foundation for Music stands as a pillar of support, championing the cause of social inclusion through the arts.
This festival will attract both international and local artists, and much is still expected of it to grow through the support of the public at large and others. Poeta Vango says there is need for more people to come on board to make this event of international standard. Therefore, they are calling in for Botswana to support the mandate of this festival. Khametsego John, BTV News, Maung.
Yeah, watching BTV News, and thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, a double murder accused Hobua Mang Ntsuape pleaded guilty for the 2 murder counts he is facing and other 4 counts of attempted murder. Gaborone High Court Justice Barnabas Nyamazabo found him guilty and convicted Ntsuape for all the 6 counts. Justice Nyamazabo said all the facts presented before the court were satisfactory.
Convicted double murderer Hobua Mang Ntsuape pleaded guilty before court and admitted that what he did was unlawful and he has no legal defense to counter his charges. Ntsuape admitted to the facts presented by the state that on the 1st of December 2016, he tampered with the driver transporting prisoners from Francistown Magistrate Court to Gerald Prison, where he went for mention for another murder case he was facing then. Ntsuape, who was sitting behind the driver in a Toyota Quantum car, jumped and swayed the steering wheel while the car was in motion, causing the car to overturn, claiming lives of 2 people, being a Zimbabwean national Emmanuel Mapolo and Constable Tuso Ntosa. The incident also caused severe injuries to other 4 passengers. Ntsuape admitted that he had intentions to kill the occupants of the car and that he was aware that his actions may result in the murder or injuries of the occupants. Justice Barnabas Nyamazabo said he was satisfied with the facts, therefore both the defense and prosecution will on the 18th of December this year argue extenuating circumstances. Ntsuape had been sentenced to death for killing his ex-girlfriend's mother, Sadi Khositsile, in 2016. Wa Betsui Mpolobusi, BTV News, Gaborone.
Khansi North Member of Parliament, Mr. John Tite, said the Kar settlement have not been receiving enough services and developments from the government as the piece of land is owned by the Dutch Reformed Church. Mr. Tite said this when addressing residents of Dakar in a quarter meeting, where he assured them that their issue of land has now finally found a lasting solution. Lesego Mokwaisi compiled this one.
Shortage of residential land, water and a clinic are some of the challenges that have been affecting residents of Dakar, even though the government's wish was to provide all this, but failing because the land was privately owned. This has now been resolved as the government has now reached an agreement with Dutch Reformed Church leadership, and now residents will start enjoying the services and developments from the government like any Motswana.
Go ta dithabolo le mebereko bana ba rona ba tshwantse ba bereka ba itirela clinic ne le mo thulaganyo ya dithabolo go te NDP 11 take beja me ne le priority project ine le project e re puso e sa le bonyo gore le ikopile nna le batho ba dikara gore le toka clinic ya tona ye na le maternity ye na le dingaka ye na le manto a bodiredi jwa tleliniki ke seo se sa bole go tsengwa mo ditogamaano tsa ditabolo tsa NDP 11 mme le ka bona gore NDP 11 sa di simolotseleng go ntse go pala gore tleliniki ya agiwe ka mabaka a thulathulano ya lehatshe la dikara mme ke batla go le tshepisa ngwaga oneo jaaka le bona koporasi e gorogile ngwaga oneo tleliniki ya lona ya go agiwa.
The jubilant resident had an opportunity to comment on what the Member of Parliament had presented to them.
Molao wo beilweng wa gore ha o le ko land board sa bonno se kana botona bokae ha o le ko ditshedi state land di kana botona bokae o le mo toropong o le mo kgaolong o le ko motseselegae kana motsesetoropo ga re itse go na le di-township go na le di-towns go na le di-city go na le di-villages again so ke akanya gone gore ka tsamaiso e ntse yalo sengwe le sengwe se ta ha puso e tsere se ta tsamagela ka puso e tsamaisa.
The area legislature also advised residents not to sell their residential plots once they are allocated, stressing that access to land is one of the human basic needs. Lesego Mokwaisi, BTV News, Dikar.
Now, lastly, livestock farmers in the new Kanagas in the Khanzi South constituency have been implored to officially register their cattle posts so that they are compliant with the standards set by the European markets, which is the main consumer of beef from Botswana. This plea was made by the area member of parliament, Mr. Motsamai, when addressing a Kota meeting at the village. Angela Nosa was there.
Parliament recently approved the establishment of the Meat Industry Regulatory Authority. Cattle breeders are therefore implored to augment efforts by the authority by ensuring that crops are in order so that they meet standards set by the EU market.
Tota o tlhomame o tsepame maraka wa gago kana polasi ya gago tse tsotlhe tse di tlhokwang ke go rekisa ko mmarakeng wa EU o di dirile o di bonye di bonye jaaka go na le matlwana a boitiketso le tse dingwe le gore gone mme a na le megotla a teng ntse jang jalo jalo re tshwanetse ra le rotloetsa le difamara gore ha tsamaiso ya go siama le lona le bo le mo seemong se se siameng ra utlwana batsadi me re rotloetsa gape gore tsamaiso ha ya go siama le lona le bo lo tshwaile leruo la lona le lona le bo le tshuba leruo la lona.
The residents decry of water shortage in their village.
Go tshelwa fo metsi a teng a lutlhaganya morahi wa New Kanagas ba bangwe ba ikgapelela metsi ao ba ire ke a bone ba bangwe ba ntse ba na le ditlhoko la gore ba batla go gella go nwa balwetsi ba le teng ba bangwe ba le teng ba na le bogole ba le teng
go na le thulaganyo ya gore metsi a tsewe mo Karikubisi a ye ko Kanagas a tsewe mo Karikubisi a ye ko Tshotse a tsewe mo Karikubisi a te mo New Kanagas ka pipe hela ye pelwa mo e ta go tshela mo go mo go emisitswe ke mongwana.
The Water Utilities Corporation reveals plans are underway to sort out the crisis.
La ka re tswa go lemoga gore se diba sa lona ha le sone se khotlelesegetse ga bo gore patelesa gore re botse le bone ba o thafetse le ba cancel gore ke difidi di ba tse leng gore di ka tswa di le mo kgaolong yone mo tikono ga ya Kanagas tse leng gore re ka lono sa ka tsone mme a kana go ira yalo gore a gore hela ka ba dire superetsa ra di kanoka seemo sa metsi gore metsi a teng a ntsi a ra itlhela sone se e leng gore seno sa council se e leng gore council wa se dirisa a no sa leruo ka sone e le sone se se nang le boleng jo bo siameng mme a re ile tumalano ya rona re le bone le council ra be re le ka gore a re tseye sone sa rona le sa council re di switch seno sa council a no sa leruo ka sone ke sone se le gompieno a re no sa motse ka sone
re utlwile matshwenyego a lona ra tsere mme re lo sologetsa gore re tla tswelela re tla go go lona mo parlamentale la seng.
On other issues, the public is implored to register for the upcoming national elections and also ensure they vote in numbers, as that will be the only way to practice their democratic right. Angela Nusa, BTV News, New Kanagas.
Well, that is the news this hour. Do stay with us. Eliza Osaking on standby to give you the sport news.
Thank you so much, Ulibile Samoka. Good afternoon. My name is Liza Oseking with your World of Sport. And in our first story, Zebras head coach Mokhomutsi Mpote says that the upcoming international friendly against Eswatini on Monday will give his team a chance to work the team's tactical dynamics ahead of their World Cup qualifying campaign, which starts next month. Mpote made the remarks this morning when putting the team through its paces at Lekidi Football Center in preparation for their clash against Isetlangu at Lobatse Sport Complex. Ryan Khengwanyane has the story.
The FIFA International Week is crucial for the Zebras after failing to impress in the 2023 AFCON qualifiers, where they picked up 1 win out of 6 clashes, finishing third behind Equatorial Guinea and Tunisia in Group J. Mokhomutsi Mpote will now get another chance to work with his players after another international friendly last month, where they edged out Zimbabwe via penalty kicks.
This one is the last assessment. Picture the players as you know, the players most of the time. I think we now have enough pool of players we can call from, and in terms of the level since we have started the league. High bet, they are now at 70%. So so Ronaki just to look the intensity, international games. That is what we are giving them now. At par with them.
All the 23 players called up for the training camp have been working out since Tuesday, with an exception of Morocco-based midfielder Kabelo Sakanyeng, who has not been able to join the squad due to administrative and logistical challenges. Mpote is happy with the conditioning of the players and will be focusing much on tactical approach and improving the team chemistry.
More the physical aspects and how more problem instead of the tactical aspect, because I've only 3 days to prepare for the game. And both physical and tactical, so that at least their teams will benefit. They will keep the same momentum and at par with the games international.
Heading to the qualifying campaign next month, the Zebras head coach indicates that he still needs 1 more friendly to wrap up his preparations.
Even a game out of window, the teams that any country that can come out of window, just 2 days, but nearly the player, especially game because there's so many teams but our hard game first week of November, and that will help me. So the team though on the player one is just to work with them and play a game of international standard. Because competition.
The last time the Zebras faced off against Eswatini was at the 2023 COSAFA Cup Championships, where Lebogang Ditsile Strike gave them a 1-0 victory in Durban, South Africa. After the friendly encounter, Botswana will now take on Mozambique and Guinea next month as they kick off the 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign. Ryan Khemoyane, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now moving on, the Botswana First Division League is set to commence this coming weekend. And now to hear more about preparations for the South, we have on the line Mr. Ishmael Modise. Modise, welcome to BTV News and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, please talk to us about preparations for the commencement of the league in terms of the new FIFA Connect registration systems.
Thank you, madam. I believe I don't have much to say. Safe to say that the window closed, or the extent window was closed yesterday without any qualms from our side. And I can assure you that our supporters must be ready in anticipation to starting our games this coming weekend. More so that all the necessary preparations from our side as a committee have all been done, the grounds have been checked, the necessary communication to our respective partners or stakeholders to the game, that is your referees or match officials, has been done. We have also sent the necessary advice to our media partners all over the country.
Yes, can you kindly please update us on the readiness of the referees and the match venues?
I trust that the referees are ready. I think you'd appreciate that. The referees, they are being managed in an external body from our side. What we normally do is that we simply send fixtures to the referees managers, whom we believe they would see to it as to how they get to fixture their respective referees at various grounds. Looking at the fixtures that we are having this coming weekend, you need to be aware that our first game, that is City Pola hosting Jwaneng, that will be played at Ramonaka City Pola Stadium.
Yes.
And then the next game is Moholitane Fighters hosting Soko United at Moholitane Fighters Ground. We also have a very exciting encounter that is between UB Hawks versus Notwani at the UB Stadium. And then the much anticipated game for Extension Gunners at the Dusty Ground. So the away visiting UD Black Forest at Mount Hodi. And then we also have a very exciting encounter whereby we also welcome a team from Tabong called the Ngqawi FC. I think we had played in the first division back in the days when it used to be called Toyota, or rather when the league was being sponsored by Toyota back in the days. And
yes.
Then they'll be hosting Muchuri Center Chiefs. So you can imagine what it means to the team.
Of course.
Having to face such a big team like Muchuri Center Chiefs. And then lastly, you'll be having Flamengo Santos hosting Presence 11 at Akabani United Ground. I think that's how our fixtures will be unfolding and this coming weekend, madam.
Yes, Modise, like you are saying, you are mentioning one of some of the biggest teams in the country. We know First Division to be one of the most competitive leagues in the country. What can football lovers look out for this season, and what is it that you are doing as the South League to ensure that you lure or you attract supporters to the grounds?
I must admit that most of the credit needs to be given to our respective clubs in terms of how they get to package themselves, how they work hard to go out there to seek some partnership or some sponsorships, if you may say. Considering that, ourselves as a league, even today, we don't have a sponsorship as yet. If you do recall last season, the Diabsora sponsorship was renewed only for a season. As such, we're not as certain as to whether the youth will be agreed going forward or not. We can only anticipate them saying something positive. I think you do recall those words that the will always say that social activity code. I think that's all that we can safely say for now. Like I was saying, our clubs are really doing a lot in terms of selling themselves, packaging themselves, marketing their games, to the supporters out there. Hence why probably maybe we do get a very good following as we do. And lastly, probably maybe due to the fact that we hardly have, hiccups in terms of, serious cases that might hamper or discredit our league.
Thank you so much, Re Modise. We look forward to the commencement of the league this coming weekend.
Thank you, Madam.
That was Mr. Ishmael Modise from First Division South League. And now moving on, the national women's team, the MES, has failed to qualify for the semi-finals of the ongoing COSAFA Women's Championships after playing to a 1-1 draw against Zimbabwe in their final Group C match played at Dobsonville Stadium yesterday. In another Group C match, Namibia defeated Lesotho by 2-0. Zimbabwe now joins Malawi, who lead Group A with 9 points, Zambia and Mozambique, who finished in first and second places with 7 points, respectively, from Group B. Zambia and Zimbabwe will clash in a titanic battle in the first semi-final tomorrow at 12 midday, before Malawi and Mozambique go head-to-head at 15:30 hours. And that is it for sport this hour. I'll be back with more sport at 5 o'clock, but stay tuned because In Context continues with Ulibile Samoka.
This is your report. Thank you. You can keep it in the shelf or you can do something about it.
My name is Robert Selato. I'm the manager for research, monitoring and evaluation. We provide the information that helps decision making. So we'll be providing your numbers, your figures, your statistics to inform planning. When we look at the Botswana AIDS Impact Survey that we recently launched the results of, in terms of HIV prevalence, prevalence the pool of people that are living with HIV. Kana batho both ba tshwereng ka mogare wa HIV. Batho ba e ka tswa ile batho ba ba sa bolong go lwala 10 years ago, 5 years ago, ba itse le ba sa itse ba le mo dipilising tsa diritibatsi le ba se mo go tsone. These are the people that have been diagnosed living with HIV, including those recently infected. And when we look at our figures, 20% of our population is living with HIV. And of these, 15.2 are males and 26.2 are females. So, HIV. And this has been coming a long way. I mean, in the previous years when we did the same study, where prevalence was 18.5% 2013, males were at 15.6%, while females, the 20.8%. So consistently you see women, prevalence is quite high among them. And this we have alluded to a number of factors, including so bo itela gore go nna motho gore motho wa mme ba ka tsa mogare gona le wa re sa re bo re ga ke ba kgona go tsa mogare mme bo mme go motho go thata mo go bone gore be